Hello everyone, this is Dark Mask making my first video about the game Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In this video, I plan on talking about a character who has yet to appear in the game and create a theorized list of their abilities for how I think they should work. Just a reminder, this is just a fan-made character for the game and is not meant to be taken as official information by Square Enix. I would also like to give credit to YouTuber 40 the Broadway Saiyan, who inspired me to make my own video after his series, DFFOO Thesis. Make sure to check him out, and I've included a link in the description below for his first thesis video regarding Thunder God Orlandu from Final Fantasy Tactics. In this video, I will be talking about Surama, also known as the Eidolon Amaterasu from Final Fantasy Explorers. For those of you not familiar with Final Fantasy Explorers, it was a game released in 2014 for the Nintendo 3DS, allowing for free roam hack-and-slash fighting, basically a light version of Final Fantasy XI or 14, and similar to the Monster Hunter series. As one of the explorers, players would travel to the recently discovered island of Amastra to collect crystals, natural resources of the planet that can be used for human progress, including the development of airships. On the island, players receive quests from two warring kingdoms, a religious order looking to exterminate the monsters on the island, and a scientific group wanting to research said monsters. When the explorer reaches the island of Amastra for the first time, their airship is immediately attacked and crashes to the surface, leaving them face to face with one of the island's most powerful guardians, the Eidolon Amaterasu. Hopelessly outmatched, a mysterious woman named Surama appears and helps the player escape, directing them to the human settlement on the island. As the explorer sets their sights on the Grand Crystal, the enormous crystal monolith at the center of Amastra, Surama confronts them and reveals the truth, that crystals are the source of all life on the planet, and humanity's over-reliance on them puts everything at risk. Surama then fights as Amaterasu, but upon defeat decides to place her trust in the player and their decision as to what to do when they reach the Grand Crystal. She expresses her hope that humanity will find a way to prosper without putting the planet at risk. As a playable character in Opera Omnia, Surama would use her plethora of moves she uses as the Eidolon Amaterasu in her kit. In addition, the Imperial Regalia of Japan, a sword, mirror, and Mitama jewel, are incorporated into her character as Amaterasu also uses them in battle. Surama's weapons would be classified as greatswords, and similar to Vayne, she wields them hovering behind her as opposed to actually holding them. Unlike Vayne, however, she would have a fan of 7 swords behind her in a style similar to a kitsune tail, a trait used in the design of Amaterasu in Explorers. With the exception of her LD weapon, all of Surama's swords are weapons actually available to the player in Final Fantasy Explorers, as well as being weapons named after or linked to powerful espers or eidolons in the Final Fantasy series. This harkens back to the fact that Surama is actually the Eidolon Amaterasu in the game. Surama's C-15 weapon is Zantetsuki, named after the sword used by the reoccurring son of Odin. Her C-35 weapon is Zodiark, which shares its name with the 13th Esper from Final Fantasy XII. Her EX weapon would be Ragnarok, which was seen as an Esper in Final Fantasy VI, as well as the legendary beast from Final Fantasy XIII. As I said, the only weapon that bucks this trend is her LD weapon, which is named Aberrant. This is named after the powerful super boss versions of Eidolons in Final Fantasy Explorers after beating the main game. Surama's armor, on the other hand, are all based on items Amaterasu can drop in battle after you defeat her. Her C-35 gold armor is the Daybreak Mask, and her C-90 gold armor would be the Daybreak Robe, based on items Amaterasu wears in battle. Surama's C-210 armor, which would allow her to exceed the Brave Cap, would be the Sunbeam Mirror, based on the fact Amaterasu uses mirrors as one of her weapons. Before getting into Surama's moves, she would have a stacking special effect called Mitama, which would act similar to Terra's magic or Kirin's drops of myrrh. Many of Surama's abilities allow her to gain 1 or 2 stacks of her Mitama effect, with a cap of 4 Mitama stacks. Every stack of Mitama grants Surama a 10% boost to her attack, max brave, and initial brave, up to a maximum of 40% at 4 stacks. In addition, at 4 stacks of Mitama, many of Surama's skills will turn into their plus variants, doing extra damage or having additional effects, although using them will reset her Mitama stacks back to 1 or 0. Moving forward, I will be going over Surama's skills. I will discuss her skills with all passives equipped, including her weapon passives and extension passives. Surama's skill 1 is Oblique Slash, a 4-hit single-target fire melee brave attack plus HP attack. It'll grant Surama a medium turn rate up for 6 turns, and allows Stolen Brave to exceed Max Brave up to 120%. It'll also grant Surama 2 stacks of Matama. At 4 stacks of Matama, it'll become Oblique Slash Plus, which turns the attack into a 7-hit single target fire melee brave attack plus HP attack that inflicts stop on the enemy for 8 turns. Stolen Brave may now exceed Max Brave up to 180%, and it resets her special effect Matama back to a single stack. Some of you may remember Stop as a frame debuff that was used by the Final Fantasy X enemy Sanctuary Keeper. It lowers enemy speed and stops the recast gauge from filling. Stop is actually a debuff Amaterasu can use in Final Fantasy Explorers, so I co-opted here as it would be a powerful debuff and something I do not believe any other character has access to at this time. Oblique Slash Extension also gives Surama access to her Brave Plus attack, called Searing Shimmer. Searing Shimmer will be active as long as she has at least 1 Matama stack, and is a single target fire magic brave attack where the number of hits are equal to the number of Matama stacks Surama currently has, up to a 4-hit fire magic brave attack at 4 stacks. Searing Shimmer will also grant her 1 additional stack of Matama. Surama's Skill 2 is Spiral Fire Dance, a 4-hit fire melee AoE brave attack plus single target HP attack. It will inflict Fire and Peril to all enemies for 6 turns, and allow Stolen Brave to exceed Max Brave up to 150%. Like Oblique Slash, it also grants 2 stacks of Matama. At 4 stacks of Matama, it becomes Spiral Fire Dance Plus. It is still a 4-hit fire melee AoE brave attack plus single target HP attack, inflicting Fire and Peril and having a Max Brave overflow of 150%, but now inflicts Burn on all enemies for 1 turn, and deals 70% splash damage. Again, similar to Oblique Slash Plus, it resets stacks of Matama back to 1. Burn is a unique debuff to Surama, which makes it so attacks ignore defense. So like how Shadow, Knoll, and Cyan have attacks that bypass defense, Burn allows the entire party to do this while it is active. Spiral Fire Dance Extension gives access to Surama's HP Plus attack, Averted Prism. Like Searing Shimmer, Averted Prism will be active as long as she has at least 1 stack of Matama, and is a fire magic brave attack, but with an HP attack this time. The number of hits are also equal to the number of Matama stacks she currently has, up to being a 4-hit fire magic brave plus HP attack at 4 stacks. Also like Searing Shimmer, it will increase Surama's Matama stack by 1. Surama's C65 ability would be Flame Enchant All, which grants the party a fire enchant effect for 5 turns. With all passes unlocked, it will also grant Surama 1 stack of her special effect Matama. Surama's EX skill is called Worldmaker. Fully realized, it is a 7-hit single target fire melee brave attack plus HP attack, with Stolen Brave able to exceed Max Brave up to 150%, dealing 50% splash damage and granting 2 stacks of her Matama. It grants Surama a unique framed buff called Benefactor and Malefactor for 6 turns. Benefactor and Malefactor, named after the mirrors Amaterasu uses in battle, make it so stack boosts from Matama now become a party-wide aura, while also inflicting the same amount of debuff to the enemies. So at 4 stacks of Matama, it would be a 40% boost to attack, initial brave, and max brave as a party aura, with the same amount as a debuff to the enemy. It would start with a slow recast speed, but fully upgraded would have a slightly slow recast speed. At 4 stacks of Matama, her EX becomes Worldmaker Plus, while still being a 7-hit fire melee brave attack plus HP attack and granting her unique buff Benefactor and Malefactor for 6 turns. It also allows Stolen Brave to exceed Max Brave up to 200% and deals 80% splash damage. In addition, the Plus version of her EX recovers 1 use of Oblique Slash and Spiral Fire Dance up to their initial values, but resets her Matama stats back to 0. Surama's LD skill is Sevenfold Dance, a 7-hit AoE fire melee brave attack plus AoE HP attack, with Stolen Brave able to exceed Max Brave up to 180%. It deals full 100% damage to all targets and has a moderate boost to Brave damage when attacking a single target. It grants Surama a unique framed buff called Valorous Exemplar for 7 turns. Valorous Exemplar has several effects, including reducing Brave damage received by the party by 50% and preventing break to the party by Brave attack, but will not stop break when it is the special ability of an attack. Valorous Exemplar also grants Surama a counterattack called Heedless Swords. a fire melee brave plus HP attack that counters the enemy anytime they brave or HP attack the party. Like Searing Shimmer and Averted Prism, the number of hits are equal to the number of Surama's Matama stacks, up to 4 hits at 4 stacks. But unlike her Brave and HP plus attacks, will perform a 1-hit Fire Melee Brave attack plus HP attack even at 0 stacks, as well as at 1 stack. Stolen Brave from Heedless Swords can exceed max Brave by 120% and raises Surama's own Brave by 20% of the damage dealt after the attack. It also grants 1 additional stack of Matama anytime it's activated. At each upgrade of her LD weapon, she gains an extra 5% of potency to her Matama effects. So at 1 stack of Matama, she now gains or grants the party through her Benefactor and Malefactor buff a 25% bonus to attack, initial brave, and max brave, up to a 55% bonus at 4 stacks. Again, this also means that through Benefactor and Malefactor, the enemy will also receive up to a 55% debuff to their attack, initial brave, and max brave as an aura. By upgrading her LD weapon, Surama also gains access to a Brave ++ attack and HP ++ attack while Valorous Exemplar is active. Her Brave ++ attack is called Rage, which instead of being a single target attack like Searing Shimmer, is an AoE Fire Magic Brave attack, again with the number of hits equal to her Matama stacks. Like Heedless Swords, however, she will still have access to a 1-hit AoE Fire Magic Brave attack even at 0 stacks as well as 1. When attacking a single target, the attack gains a moderate damage boost, as well as granting an additional stack of her Matama. Also, using Rage will inflict Stop, the same debuff from the plus version of her Oblique Slash, to all enemies for 1 turn, or extends the enemy's existing Stop effects by 1 turn. Her HP ++ attack is Kaleidoscope, which is similar to Rage in being an AoE Fire Magic Brave attack, but with an AoE HP attack this time. The number of hits are still equal to the stacks of her Matama, with a minimum of being a 1-hit AoE Fire Magic Brave plus AoE HP attack at 0 or 1 stacks. Stolen Brave from Kaleidoscope can exceed max Brave up to 120%, with HP damage split equally between all enemies. And like Rage, the attack grants Surama an additional stack of her Matama. That concludes my Opera Omnia character thesis for Surama from Final Fantasy Explorers. Ultimately, I tried to make a moveset that not only pays homage to the spirit of the character, but also something I feel could be useful in the game itself. With this kit, Surama would be a force to be reckoned with against enemies with nasty recast abilities, as well as against bosses who skyrocket their defenses in battle. Her Matama's special ability also offers a level of skill to master her, but hopefully not hinder hers, as so many of her skills offer her ways to build it back up to 4 stacks quickly. As I've said before, this is the first time I've attempted to create a fan-made character, and I hope she is not too powerful, since I tried to base her skills on the Japanese difficulty of the game. I also hope I did not end up making her too underpowered, since I admit I play the global version of Opera Omnia, and don't have first-hand experience of the difficulty in the Japanese version. In the end though, I really just wanted to make more people known to Surama and Final Fantasy Explorers, and give people an idea of what she can offer to the game. As for the future, I will admit I had a lot of fun making my video detailing my ideas about Surama, and am not against making more videos for characters yet to be added to the game, although I do not want to make any promises at this time. If you enjoyed my video, hit that like button, and I would love to hear your comments about what you think about Surama. If you've ever played Final Fantasy Explorers before, or if there are any characters you'd love to see added to Opera Omnia. Of course, everybody wants to see characters like Riku and Red 13 be added, but if you have any characters that are a bit more obscure like Surama, I would love for you to share them. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my rant. Good luck, and stay safe.